Hello, beautiful muses. Welcome to CosmoMuse Tarot and another yes, no, maybe Friday insight reading. So a couple of house cleaning things to do before we jump into pile selection. Make sure you phrase your questions so that if you were to get a yes, that would feel like a positive outcome, just so that everyone's kind of on the same page. Interpreting things in the same direction. And then the other thing is, by all means, bring whatever questions you want here. But there's a caveat. The answers will make more sense for the way I'm interpreting energies if you bring deeper questions here. So my typical example would be, maybe instead of asking something like, will I get this job, where it's very black and white, yes and no, ask something that has a little bit more depth to it, like, would I like this job if I got it, or am I looking at the right kind of jobs? So that's my typical example, just to keep it easy. If you do bring more simple black and white type questions here, you might just have to kind of like take and leave what makes sense for that. Okay, that being said, let's look at the piles. Pile 1, we have Snakeskin, Agate. Pile 2, we have Flower, Agate. Pile 3 is Obsidian. See if we can get a better look. There we go. And pile 4, we have Orange, Chalcedony. Okay, for those of you that have your own methods for picking your piles, you can pause here and jump to the timestamps in the descriptions. And for the others that enjoy the breath work I do to help get into sort of intuition, to inspire and help you find the right draw to the right pile, we'll jump into that now. So place your feet firmly on the ground. Feel that stability, that security underneath you, that feeling of being held. And now take a deep breath, wade it into your body, into your abdomen, really ground into your body through that breath. Hold that. And now exhale. And now we're going to take another deep breath in, and this time suck the air up, up, up into the space between your brows where the third eye is. Hold that there. Suck in a little more to add pressure. Hold, and then out loud exhale, opening up your crown chakra. And now gaze over the 4 piles and ask which one has your aligned message. Okay, I will see you guys in your readings. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your Friday insight with your yes, no, maybe question. So you guys picked the Snakeskin Agate. And before getting to your 3 cards that will help us see what's going on with this question in kind of a quick read style, there were definitely some intuitive hits that came through as I was preparing your pile. So to start out with that as like a foundation is what I felt was sort of like an intensity of color. So, those times when life feels a little bit more full color, full presence in it, like you're so deeply aware of life, it just has more intensity to it, hence a little bit more color to it. It feels like something about this question has like a deep saturation to it, like it's very intense feeling in its color. If that makes sense. I know that's a little abstract, but yeah, I feel like if you're at a tarot reading, you probably understand what I'm talking about. Okay, and I tried to feel into, because that can be positive or negative. Sometimes the intensity is too saturated, and sometimes that feels like alive and exciting. And I tried to feel into what that is, and I didn't. It just felt neutral. And so to me, that feels like it's a little bit, will depend on, I think, the people coming here, you're all experiencing that a little different. And so it was hard to get a yes, no, positive, negative reading around that. So I'm calling that neutral. And we'll look at the cards to get a little bit of a more clear picture of if there is a yes, no, maybe here. And I think it's just individual as to how you're experiencing that saturation. Okay, to start with, we have simplicity. Well, that is beautiful. Simplicity mixed with that sense of saturated color has a very positive vibe to it for me. Like, it's not too like so intense that it's like burning you. This feels light, it feels airy, but it feels, you know, looking at this card, some of the colors, you know, like here it's not so, it's a little muted, but like you get in here and that saturation is really intense, you know, but it's still light and airy and simple. It's vibrant yet light. So I do like seeing that come through. This may, for some of you, if that doesn't resonate, it may for some of you be giving you some guidance to lighten up about this question, to simplify it somehow. And for others, you may already be feeling that saturation as kind of still somewhat ethereal, even though it has like an intensity to it. Okay, let's see the next card, Treasure Island. Yeah, and these colors are very, I don't know, my light isn't, I usually try to use natural light, but sometimes it's a little dark here. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, in person, I'm looking at the screen and the colors are not as vibrant, but like in person, these are very vibrant colors. And then Simplicity and Treasure Island. What I'm feeling here is like you need to really drop into receiving mode around this question. It's time to stop pushing and trying and forcing things. There's a need for you to relax, and that relaxing will let things actually flow and move, and it will make you more open to receiving, and you will receive that yes if you can get there. This is guidance of how to get your yes. The yes is possible, but you have to stop. You have to drop from, like, move from this yang mode of trying to make things happen, feeling like you have to put the effort in. I think you've already put some effort in, and now it's time to kind of like trust, sit back, open up, and really, you know, it's so easy to say it's time to receive, but there's so many people out there that receptivity is actually really hard for them to do. I think this world, that our current modern society is has such this viewpoint of like, you know, work hard, reach, push, move, progress, grow. And we learn so little about how to be open and receive with gratitude, not out of an entitlement, but with a like, you know, I've put some effort in, and now I need to relax and be receptive, because if I'm always pushing, I'm not actually like experiencing what could come from that push. I'm just like on to the next push, instead of sitting back and receiving from what I put effort into. And so this is, I think, what this is saying, like the intensity will feel nice and you will get your yes if you can sit back, find some flow, and receive. Okay, last card, the Chariot. Yeah. There is absolutely forward traction here, but you're needing to to me, I always like to think of the chariot as like trying to wrangle these sides of you, these forces within you that sometimes want to veer off in other directions and do their own thing or make it hard to move forward, because it's about like harnessing, you know, your inner energy, your desires, what you're reaching for, what your soul most deeply wants, and getting everything to focus in the same direction and go forward. And this is saying like that forward movement, that finding of how to kind of like bring things moving in the same way in a cleared path, is by kind of relaxing into this, like sort of trusting that the path is clear, that you're in alignment with yourself, that you've put in that work, you've trained those horses, or in this case it's a snail. It's kind of like got two antennas that are picking up two different things. It's like you've done the work of like really training those to focus on the same things in order to move forward. But if you keep sort of pushing and feeling like you have to keep forcing something, it just kind of messes that up. It makes it too tense, it makes it too complicated, it makes it too intense actually. But if you can kind of trust and let go that you've put the training in, you've put that effort in that you've needed to kind of really clearly focus on something and go forward, that trust will really open you up, and life will feel flowing and in the right direction, with simplicity, with ease, and with a lot of things coming in for you, receiving rewards for the work you've put in. So there is definitely the potential of a yes here, but there's guidance of how to get it. It's not just going to happen. You have to kind of like, ease into this, relax a bit with it. Yeah, beautiful. So all the potential in the world. Learn how to sit back, receive, be open, and trust. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. I hope this resonated. If so, I always appreciate a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and definitely always grateful and excited when I see kind and thoughtful little comments as well. And I hope you have a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are. See ya. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your Friday Insight with your yes, no questions. You guys picked the beautiful flower Agate. So before jumping into your 3 cards to get that yes, no, maybe, with this reading, I always like to really tune into the intuitive hits that come before we reveal what those cards are, both to me and you. And I definitely felt this thing of like overactive mind, like being in mind in a way that it's like can be your worst enemy in a way. And this difference, I felt this thing like information sort of coming through to help distinguish or help bring better awareness of like really beautiful ways to be more in that mental center, and ways that that get in our own way, like mind, where I feel like you are right now, or where this question is. It can kind of, it's good at figuring out answers to questions. It's a good tool to make things happen for something you already are directing through your heart, but we can get trapped in it. It can lead us in circles. It can bring anxiety, versus being in consciousness, which is a little bit different than mind versus consciousness. Consciousness is like this being tapped into awareness. and that an awareness that your awareness is tapped into something beyond you. So there's like, it's more of a centering on awareness and something bigger versus like in your head kind of feeling. And I feel like something coming through, like you may even like very much so know that information, but there's like a reminder needing to be brought forward here about what you're asking about, something that you're like too in mind, and you need to get into kind of awareness versus mental energy. So not necessarily a yes or a no, but a big kind of guidance coming through around this question. Okay, let's look at your cards and see what we've got here. Enlightenment. Yes, this wants you to tap. There's something in consciousness, in awareness, that will lead you to where you're supposed to be. And I'm still not getting necessarily a yes or a no. Like the more enlightened path may not necessarily be through a yes. I'm definitely not getting, it still feels neutral to me in terms of yes or no, but just this strong thing coming through of like, you need to be more, tap into something bigger around this question, more awareness around the question. And where is that awareness trying to guide you? Is it towards this question or towards something else? That might be an answer you can only bring forward. But let's see what the other cards have. There may be more from Spirit. Never ending story. Yeah, look, she's in her mind. She's in mind. She's in that mental trapping. She's deliberating. She's mulling over things. She's in this never ending loop. And it's like you need to, there's something here. It's like you won't get an answer in general. This will just keep going on and on until you drop more into awareness and consciousness. Let go of that mind energy, that mental cycling, and just kind of open. Go into through YouTube. There's so many resources with like guided meditations. And even like shamanic drumming journeys, those can really put you into different brainwave states that can help you break out of kind of cycling mental energy and into more of like a flow state and tapping in a little better to that kind of bigger consciousness that our awareness is part of. It's like you need to get into that space to move anywhere with this question. Yeah, okay, let's see what the tarot card says, if we can get any more close to a yes or no here. Two of Wands. This is, okay, I don't like doing this, but this depends on the question you asked, whether this is a yes or no. If this is about, and this is a long shot, this is going to be for a couple people. If your question is about what, like something like, am I going to find a new path? Am I going to find new inspiration? Am I going to find, something along those ways, something new, a fresh perspective, a new outlook, a new path, a new journey, a new threshold to cross. If your question is in line with that, this is a yes. And the way to get there is to get out of your mind and into that bigger awareness, that bigger consciousness, and it will guide you. It will bring you to that threshold. If this question has any other context about something else, something you've been in a never-ending story with, something that has a long history, something that doesn't feel new or fresh, this is a clear no. Time to drop into consciousness and let it lead you to a fresh, bright, new path ahead. A different way forward, a different perspective, a new, but something, despite whether this is the yes or the no for you, depending on how you asked your question, what it was about, the outcome here is still the Two of Wands, no matter if this is a yes or no for you. The bigger picture here is that there is a fresh path waiting for you. filled with so much potential, filled with, you know, tapping into like your higher good, your higher potential. There's like a leveling up here. I feel that. So no matter if this is a yes or no, depending on the question you ask, which I've already gone over, there is a leveling up coming. So even if it's a no, what is coming up next is like a leveling up and a better, fresh way forward. Yeah, okay, so that's where I'm gonna leave this. If this resonated, I always appreciate the things like, share, subscribe. Excuse me, and I always also really enjoy and I'm grateful for little comments, especially kind and thoughtful comments. It's just nice to hear actual humans out there. So anyway, I hope this finds you in a day that you are having a great time, and wishing you well whenever and wherever you are. See you guys. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your Friday Insight with yes, no, maybe questions. You guys picked the Black Obsidian. So, before I jump into the cards in this weekly reading, I usually like to tap into kind of intuitive hits that came through as I was preparing your reading. And it's rare that this happens, but I fully spaced out. I had, you know, when I came to and I was about to like, you know, I'm like, okay, so now it's time to press record and do the message. And I'm like, okay, what came through? And I'm like, wow, I have no idea. I've fully blanked out. I fully spaced out. There's nothing. And I'm like, well, does that mean anything? And I still got nothing. Like, sometimes I would interpret that as like, you're spaced out or this or that. And I was like, no, that's not what I feel. I feel like there's a void here. Trying to articulate this, what I felt, it was like, it is not quite that anything's possible, but it's like, whatever this question is, it sort of feels like it's in that primordial sea. Like, yes, you could pull something out of this question. You could make something happen with this question, but it could also go a gazillion other ways because it's sort of in this void space where it's hard to control what comes out of that. Like, if you think about evolution and things having come out of primordial waters, those first organisms, you could have been like, well, I want to put in these ingredients to the primordial water and I hope an amoeba comes out. But 1,000 other things could actually come out. It's like this space where you really don't have all the control. That's what I'm feeling. It's kind of mysterious. I don't know what else to say about that, which I know is going to make this reading really tough to get a yes, no, or even a maybe. But let's see what the cards say. Yeah, I'm a little bit, to be honest, like I'm a little bit stumped with what I'm feeling. So it doesn't even feel like a maybe. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, let's see what the cards say. New beginning. Yeah, I mean, this is what I want to say is that before I even look at the other two cards, I think this cleared it up for me. Yeah, you could get a yes here, but you could get 1,000 other things. So technically a yes is possible, but don't hold your breath. Regardless, there is a new beginning coming. Something is in incubation. Something is about to birth. It just might not be what you're thinking of. It almost never is. I'm not going to discount a yes, but it's like the chances of the yes are like winning a lottery kind of thing. But it still feels positive. It still feels like something exciting is coming. And so even if you don't get the yes you hope for, you're going to get something that feels like you're waking up to a new day, refreshed, excited, something exciting in front of you. Okay, soulmates, beautiful. So this could be a new beginning around love. Maybe some of you, I wouldn't imagine, a majority, but maybe some of you ask questions about someone special, and this is saying that it's possible, but even if it's not this person that's like your soulmate, this new beginning is bringing that soulmate type of thing. If you're already with a soulmate or that has nothing to do with your question, I'm definitely tuning into this key and this lock in the heart, something connected to your soul, something your soul chose to experience and have be like a big part of your journey in this lifetime is coming in this new beginning. Something that unlocks your heart in a really beautiful, soulful way. Okay, last card. It's the Star. Yeah, and that's very much so primordial spaces. It's the new hope for the potential of the future. It's having hope in the future. And so this to me is sort of like guidance from Spirit. Have hope. Even if this sort of is a no in a lot of ways, and for probably 99.9% of you, stay connected to hope, because a new beginning is coming, something that's really going to unlock your heart, something really beautiful, really lovely is coming out of this question. Whatever you asked, it probably won't look like what you're hoping for, but something in its place is coming that you should feel hopeful about, that you should feel excited about, that is really key to this lifetime, really key to the context of what your question is about. So I would say for all but maybe one person here, it's a no, but it's a no with a hell yes behind it, with something amazing still coming out in the vein of what your question is, but just looks different than your question. And it might look better, to be honest. It might look better. Okay, so this is where I'm going to leave you. I actually really like this reading. I hope you guys do too. I know sometimes it can be disappointing to get a no, but I just feel so strongly that it's like, don't feel that way. If you feel disappointed right now, the excitement you're going to feel when whatever this new beginning is that comes is going to double be that excitement, that hope, that intensity of that feeling will be double than the intensity of any disappointment you feel right now. So I hope that helps to kind of tune into, how I think Spirit wants you to feel coming out of this reading. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. If this resonated, I always appreciate the things like, share, subscribe. Always grateful and excited to see kind and thoughtful little comments. Nice to see actual words from actual people out there. So this is where I'm going to leave you guys, and I hope you are having a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are. All right, see you guys. Hello, Pile 4. Welcome to your Friday Insight and your yes, no, maybe reading answers. You guys picked this orange Chalcedony as your stone. So as I like to do in this weekly reading, before I get into the cards, I do like to kind of set the foundation for intuitive hits that came through as I was preparing your pile. And it was interesting. I've never had this kind of energy come into a reading. It was clear and it's simple. It's not anything like totally out there or bizarre. It was just like, I don't know, I haven't come across this vibe yet in any of my piles, and I've done a lot of these, was very much so like anticipation. There's like anticipation behind this question, and it felt sort of like the reveal. Like one metaphor would be, you know, if you're pregnant and you're having a reveal party, so you don't know if the sex of the baby is going to be boy or girl. It's like being at the reveal party and having some anticipation there. So whatever, you know, this certainly doesn't have to be about a baby. I'm sure probably maybe none of your questions are. But it has that feeling of anticipation, maybe like a little bit of a secret or a wink here. I don't know, something going on like that. A little bit of excitement around this question. Yeah, and I don't know, I'm not really getting a yes, no sway coming through on that. Just that like your current mood is that. I don't know what the answer is, but there's like a mood. Okay, so let's look at, oh, I love that, blessings. Beautiful. Going along with the metaphor I used, where it has that feeling of something being revealed. Is the sex of the baby going to be a boy or a girl? And am I going to cut into a cake and see pink or blue? And maybe your question in this metaphor is like, am I going to have a girl? Because you really want a girl. This card to me is saying, whatever you're asking about is a blessing, no matter if it's a yes or no. So I feel like this question for a lot of you is probably phrased, you know, rather than am I pregnant? It's more like, is this a girl? So it's like, this is happening, but is it this kind of thing? And I feel that energy. The general underlying thing of your question is happening, but the specifics of it, whether it matches what you're hoping for, are still going to be a blessing no matter what. Whatever the result is going to feel like a blessing. Okay, let's see what else we've got. Yang, just like, oh, it's a boy. There's energy here. There's assertion here. Take action. This is, the first card as well. There's something to take action on about your question. There's something birthing about your question. There's something coming into manifestation here. Clarity coming. This feels like a yes to me, and it feels like a blessing. And I don't want to put this into the metaphor of like, oh, it's a boy or a girl. This to me, because either one is that blessing, this to me is more about whatever it is that this question centers around, is very much so connected to having made a wish and that wish coming true. And it feels like a one, and it feels like a fresh new creation or vital impulse, and like maybe the question in this metaphor of this card is sort of like, does this thing have a chance? Will it get laid? You know, not in a metaphor of a baby, but you know, when you say, is this idea going to have traction? Does it have legs under it? It feels like an idea coming to life. Like, yes, this will have traction. This will get legs under it. This is a real thing, and it is going to bless your life. So very much so a yes is what's coming through here. Let's look at your tarot for any last context, the world. And that is manifestation. That is coming to fruition. That is success. That is ultimate reaching that summit, the peak, the goal, that world at your fingertips, literally here. Whatever you've asked about is very blessed, and it's very much so coming into fruition is what I feel. It has a really, really beautiful energy around it. So gorgeous. So that excitement, that anticipation that I've felt, like, yeah, I feel that with you. I'm excited for you. Whatever this question is, it feels, yeah, I'm with you. Have fun with what comes here. I think it's going to be great. Not without, shouldering some responsibility, shouldering some weight. When we get what we want, sometimes that requires us to kind of hold the weight of that, hold the responsibility of that. But she, in this particular world card, she's like this trained ballerina. She's holding her balance and her poise with ease and grace, and with no issue. It's sort of like she's trained so well that whatever position she's holding, and whatever costume she has to wear, and whatever production she's starring in, it comes with ease. She's prepared. This is no biggie for her. And it's still a star position kind of thing. Yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous reading, you guys. I love this for you. All right, this is where I'm going to leave you. If this resonated, I always appreciate the things like, share, subscribe, and definitely always appreciate, and I'm grateful when I see kind and thoughtful little comments. It's always nice to hear actual words from actual people. And yeah, that's where I'm going to leave you guys. I hope you have a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are. All right, see you guys.